Take time to explore. I love it. Glenn came up this morning and gave me a book and shared with me how important it was and how it woke him up to a greater idea. And I will celebrate my opportunity to read it. Okay, I love it. Talk about all things are possible. I have a Kindle. Any of you have a Kindle? It's great. Isn't it wonderful? Oh my God. It's just wonderful. 420,000 books. All I got to do is push a button, and in 5 seconds I got the whole book right there in my Kindle. It's great. I got the Science of Mind textbook in my Kindle. I've got Christian D. Larson in my Kindle. I've got Dr. Edward De Bono in my Kindle. I've got anything. I heard somebody talking about a great book the other day. Picked up my Kindle. 2 minutes. I had it. Okay. I have it. And it says, okay, here's a book, and I look at the thing, and I say, oh, I don't know if I want to read this or not. I get 2 chapters to sample. If I want to continue, I buy. If I don't, okay, out of here. And isn't that wonderful? That was science fiction 10 years ago. What's going to happen in the next 10 years? I asked Rolf once. He was working with Hewlett Packard to create what. One day I had a conversation with Rolf, and he's telling me about we're thinking up what's all the technology is going to be 10 years from now. And I said, "What's it going to be, Rolf?" And he said, "You wouldn't believe me." Take time to read. Everyone say, reading is the foundation of knowledge. So don't be afraid to learn. Discover how intelligent you are. I always tell students, I've had students thank me over the years. I had someone who has a PhD in physics now who was about to drop out of school when they came here to our youth group, our free flyers, our teenage group, and was about to drop out of everything and came here and heard what we teach. And I talked to the kids that day, and I said something that he now, who owns a high-tech company in Connecticut, pointed out with his PhD in physics. He said, "Thank you, Dr. J. I've always used what you taught me." And I said, "What's that?" He said, "When you read a book, tell yourself, the mind that wrote this book is my mind. I'm now going to read it to remind myself of what I already know. I'm not going to cram anything in. I'm going to wake up the fact that I already know it." Same is true with anything you need to know. How many of you started something with, "This is going to be hard to understand"? Guess what? It's hard to understand. Why? Because it's hard to understand, or because you have a hard to understand consciousness? Wake up to the truth of yourself. Next one, take time for friendship. If you're here for the first time today, my dear friends, you've got 450 friends you didn't know you had in this church. 450 like-minded people that are here to support any idea you have about yourself or anything you want to do in life. How powerful is that? How many know that your life is a happier place because you know you got all these wonderful like-minded people here that say, yeah, it's good enough to be true? Take time for friendship. Everyone say, friendship is the source of happiness. You know why? Because as Emerson said, if you want friends, do what? Be one. Be one. Next one, take time to laugh. Take time to laugh. Take time to laugh. How many know laughing helps life a whole lot? It's very good. I remember when I started my ministry, Dr. Robert Bitzer, we grew to about 150 members in about 3 months. And they were down in Los Angeles, and I was up here, and they were kind of concerned about what was going on up here, and they didn't know, so they used to send a spy into the Sunday services. And they'd get a copy of my tape, and they'd send it down to Dr. Bitzer. And Dr. Robert Bitzer helped start this with Dr. Ernest Holmes, and Dr. Bitzer would listen to my tape, and then he'd call up and critique me. I had Robert Bitzer on the phone talking about my lecture Sunday. He said, "I like what you say, Jay. You're in principle, everything else, but I think you laugh too much." we had Dr. Bitzer here in this auditorium doing a seminar, whatever, and he was absolutely one of my congregations here. This whole place was just packed. There wasn't a room. I mean, there wasn't a chair available anywhere. And Bob's up here, Dr. Robert Bitzer's up here, and he's doing his seminar, and we had a break. And he got me by the arm and took me over the side and walked me right over here, and he says, "Jay, I don't think I'm that funny." And I said, "Bob, my people are used to laughing at everything." And it's good. I love Dr. Holmes. Dr. Holmes stood out because of his humor. And he always said people learn more if they're laughing. They learn more if they're smiling. Take time to laugh. And here's the last one. You ready? Take time to dream. Take time to dream. Take time to allow yourself a greater idea of yourself. For 35 years we've made this affirmation. Say it with me. All my dreams are waiting for me to come true. See? That could be our mission statement, couldn't it? All my dreams. In fact, one year at Selamar, all of our T-shirts we had that year said, all my dreams are waiting for me to come true. But see, you don't want to stop there. It's not waiting for you to come true. If you're saying that to yourself, add this to it. I do so now. I do so now. The word education is a very interesting word. It means drawing forth from the mind the latent powers and development that's within you. In our mature years, not our childish years, to allow ourselves metaphysical maturity. Metaphysical maturity is when you have the wisdom of the adult and the freedom of the child. Metaphysical maturity is when you're applying the best within yourself so that your success experience is happening with your health, with your happiness, with your prosperity, with your home, with your work, with your play. Success in action is the greatest of all arts, said Dr. Holmes. The art of thinking, not just the science of thinking, the art of thinking, the art of mind in action, the art of living. Live your life in such a way, as Will Rogers said, that the wood pile is higher when you leave than it was when you got here. Every one of you resides as a seed in action of the greater person you were meant to be. And that greatness gives birth to greater greatness. And it happens over and over and over. As we said in the beginning, affirm it with me. Within me is the seed of that greater person I can be. I give birth to it now and give thanks for this lesson. Shabbat Shalom. Namaste. Thank you for being here today.